Well, let's talk about politics because a lot of people are wondering in this country if we're going to go to the polls or we not. But the Liberals are now inching toward a majority. And that is because Edmonton MP Matt Jeneroux says Prime Minister Mark Carney's speech at Davos about the New World Order and Canada's role in it inspired him to cross the floor and join the party yesterday. He says he didn't want to sit on the sidelines at this important time. You might remember he recently resigned from from politics overall and then from the Conservatives. He's now the third Conservative MP to join the Liberals. So in doing so, as I said, it nudges Carney close to a majority in Parliament. Duane Bratt is a political scientist over at Mount Royal University and here to talk about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
So for Canadians, for people listening, we won't go to the polls if there's a majority. They're one away. Is that correct? Like if my math is right, if Chrystia Freeland's seat,
they're three away.
Okay, tell us.
But there's three vacant seats, and so you were mentioning Chrystia Freeland. Her seat is now vacant. Bill Blair's seat in Toronto is also vacant. Those are really safe Liberal seats. So then that pushes them to 171, which is one less than what they require for a majority. But there's also one other by-election, and that is in Terrebonne, Quebec. This is absolutely fascinating. This was a traditional bloc riding. The Liberals won it in April by one vote, one single vote. But there were some problems with the voting, so much so that it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and last week, Supreme Court annulled that result and ordered a by-election. So in this one tiny riding in remote Quebec that Mark Carney visited, interestingly, already this week, got the hockey jersey and everything, could decide whether we have a majority or minority. But quite frankly, whether the Liberals are at 170 or 172, they have a functional majority right now. They're able to get things done. They are governing. And hopefully, with the latest floor crossing and some of these by-election results, we'll stop this endless, constant speculation about election timing that seems to have occurred almost the moment since Mark Carney won. Are the Conservatives going to bring him down? Maybe Mark Carney will call a snap election. We have some real significant challenges facing this country right now, and I would hope that the energy would be on governing, not campaigning.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, obviously not pleased. Tell us a little bit more about what this could mean for him politically or not.
I think he has been damaged by this. It was only a month ago that he had a very successful Conservative convention in Calgary, got 87% approval in his leadership review. But even at that time, there was speculation that if there was another floor crossing or two floor crossings, or if his poll numbers versus Carney and the Liberals were to get worse, it would be a challenge for Poilievre. And sure enough, that is what has happened. There's now three floor crossers in the span of a handful of months. The gap between the Liberals and the Conservatives is increasing, and the gap between Carney and Poilievre on who Canadians view would make the best prime minister is almost 30-point difference. And just to add to that complexity, he's got problems in his own caucus. He's got Jamal Janavi, backbencher from Oshawa, seemingly trying to run his own Canadian foreign policy down in Washington with J.D. Vance. He's got issues in Alberta where the Conservatives are being asked about their views on separatism, and no one has spoken except for Poilievre. And we also have to look at the background of Matt Jeneroux, because last fall he was expected to cross the floor. There were rumors that him and several others were going to go. In the end, only Christophe Tremont of Nova Scotia went. And Matt Jeneroux announced, no, he was just going to resign from politics. But that same day, Pierre Poilievre said, no, he's resigning, but 6 months from now. He's going to resign in April. And then Matt Jeneroux said, well, yeah, I'm going to resign 6 months from now. None of it made sense. And so the speculation started that, no, Jeneroux was about to cross. The Conservatives got wind of it. They put significant political pressure. Some might even call it bullying. And they made this compromise that you're not going to cross the floor. You're just going to resign and go away. Well, sure enough, a couple months later, he's now crossed the floor. And he didn't mention any of that in his press conference, it was all about the Davos speech.
Yeah. Just before you go, we only have a minute left here, but he is going to take on Jeneroux, a special portfolio with the Liberals. Do we actually know what he's going to be doing?
No, I think it's a made-up title. There's no legislative authority. There's no staff. There's no budget. There's no job description. There's no terms of reference. So I don't know what he's doing. It was not explained by either Carney or Jeneroux. It's possible that maybe he is playing a significant advisory role, or that's the plan. And maybe in 4 months, 5 months, there'll be some indication of that. But right now, I have no idea what it means.
All right, Duane, thanks for the analysis.
All right, you're welcome.
Lots of numbers to follow out of Ottawa. Duane Bratt, political scientist at Mount Royal University, helping us with the latest developments.